Well, howdy ho, kiddos, and welcome to another episode of Virtual Sunday School. Y'all remember me, I'm Safari Sarah, and your Sunday school teachers asked me to do another lesson for you guys today. It's gonna be so exciting because we are continuing with the lessons that you guys have been learning so far. Do y'all know who you've been listening about? It's Jesus, that's right, and another one of his miracles. This one's a real special one, kids. So make sure you listen at home and take notes or do what you gotta do to make sure that you learn this lesson, okay? So we're gonna learn about someone very important in the Bible. Jesus talks about the story of Bartimaeus. Do y'all know who Bartimaeus is? I know that's a real long name. It's kind of funny and hard to say a little bit, so I'm going to say it with you all again. So repeat after me. Bartimaeus. Bartimaeus. That's right. Good job, y'all. So you want to know something real important about Bartimaeus? He was blind. What does that mean? That means he couldn't see with his eyes. He didn't know where to go, what to do. He didn't have a job. He didn't have money. Nothing like that. All he could do to make money was to be on the side of the street and just beg people for money. Maybe when y'all were like driving around with your mommy and daddy and then you stopped at a stoplight, maybe you've seen some of these people. They're called homeless people. They're begging people for money. They got their signs. Maybe they got like a bag of their stuff and they just carrying everything around with them because that's all they have. They don't got a home. They got their blankets and everything with them because sometimes it's cold outside. Well, they got to take everything with them, right? So just remember, Bartimaeus was a beggar. He was kind of like a homeless man, okay? So guess what happened to Bartimaeus? He was sitting on his street corner one day and he was listening to everybody go by, but remember, he couldn't see nothing. So what happens when you can't see? It's a little scary. Maybe you guys can imagine with me. Close your eyes for a second. Kind of feel around maybe, but you don't know where to go. You can only know where to go if you're touching something and you can maybe hear really well. Right, you guys can open your eyes now. That's exactly what happened to Bartimaeus. He heard the birds singing in the sky. He heard people walking by him, but he didn't know what they looked like. He hadn't seen the sky or the clouds or the sun in a very long time, so he was sad, friends. So guess what happened to Bartimaeus? One day, he heard people walking by him. They said, "Did you hear Jesus was coming into town?" Oh boy, you should have seen Bartimaeus' face when he heard that. He was so filled with joy because guess what he had heard? Jesus was out there. He was helping people raise from the dead like Lazarus, and he heard about the lame man walking and so many different miracles and the wedding in Cana. He heard all about that, and he said, well, wait a minute. Maybe now's my chance. I've been waiting to see for a very long time. Maybe this is the opportunity for me to see Jesus and ask him to heal me. So guess what Bartimaeus did? He sat there on his street corner and he started to listen. And remember, he couldn't see nothing, so all he could do was listen. And he sat there and he started to hear people. There were people approaching. Okay, so he's looking around and he's like, okay, when's Jesus coming? Wait a minute, I can't see Jesus, so I don't know when he's coming. But maybe if I yell out his name, maybe he'll hear me, okay? Y'all ready? You want to say this with me just like Bartimaeus? He said, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. Can you all say that together? Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. And guess what the people around him did? They knew old blind Bartimaeus in his street corner. They said, Bartimaeus, settle down there, boy, be quiet. Jesus ain't got time for you. He's too busy dealing with with important tax collectors and businessmen and Pharisees. He doesn't have time for you. You're just a beggar. But guess what Bartimaeus did? He pushed through those people. He ignored everybody. He started yelling again for Jesus. He said, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me, please. And guess what Jesus did? He stopped all the people around him and he said, who's calling my name? Bring that man to me. And guess what? Bartimaeus, he had his garments on and all his belongings with him. And he's like, wait a minute, Jesus is calling me? He threw everything down and he's running. Jesus, I'm here, I'm here. And Jesus comes up to Bartimaeus and he said, what is it that you want from me? And guess what Bartimaeus said? He said, Rabbi, I just want to see again, please. And Jesus said to Bartimaeus, today your faith has made you whole again. Your faith has healed you. You can go back to your family and be with everybody, maybe get a job and live your life again, Bartimaeus, because your faith has made you whole. And guess what happened to Bartimaeus? He kind of opened his eyes for a second, and maybe it was hard to see at first. But then he looked up, he saw the sky, and he saw the birds that were singing, the ones that were singing to him before. He looked down and reached to heaven. He was so happy and he was excited. Finally, after so many years, he could see. And guess what? He decided to follow Jesus down that road. Wow, can you kids imagine how much faith Bartimaeus had to have for Jesus to say, your faith made you see again. Y'all remember what faith is, right? We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Faith is believing something without being able to see it first, right? So Bartimaeus had to believe in his heart that Jesus was going to heal him even before Jesus healed him. He had to get through all that crowd of people that told Bartimaeus to be quiet. He had to have a lot of courage and he had to have a lot of faith to be healed that day for Jesus to even see him. So now just think, if you have that kind of faith and you have enough courage, maybe Jesus will answer your prayers too. And that's a very important lesson we can learn today from blind Bartimaeus, kids. So just think about that the next time you're praying for something real hard. You can tell Jesus, Jesus, the same way blind Bartimaeus was praying and crying out to you because he had so much faith, that's how I'm praying to you, Jesus. So kids, I hope y'all learned something real important today. It was great to see you kids. I hope everybody's sending in their memory verse. Y'all are learning so many verses. We're real proud of you and we hope you guys stay safe. We love you very much and we're praying for you. Y'all have a good week, okay? We'll see you next time.